What's up guys, we're out here with the brand new 2025 Yamaha R3. I'm really excited about it. Now I know there's not a ton of changes or differences. In fact, here are the main changes that I can tell. The most obvious being straight up styling of this motorcycle. It is absolutely amazing looking. I love the fact that they took some of the R7, R6, R1 and kind of manipulated it all into this outstanding looking motorcycle, especially for a 300. The next most notable change from the previous edition is the fact that we finally get an assist and slipper clutch. In my opinion, that's a huge deal when you're out on the track or riding back roads, canyons, and you're downshifting and you don't really want to lock up that rear tire. So a little assist that'll come from that clutch is going to be a very welcome upgrade to this motorcycle. The next thing would be a upgraded dashboard, which is kind of cool. You could tell at least this is much easier to see than the previous version. It also has some Bluetooth connectivity. We'll try and figure that out on this ride today and see what we actually get out of the Bluetooth. And then finally, what I can tell is it's got a little bit better ergonomics, which we will talk about as we ride. It's shaved 2 pounds from the previous edition, and it also comes stock with this USB socket here, which is pretty cool. So today we're gonna get out on some back roads and have some fun, and I'll let you guys know what I think about the bike and how it handles. We'll get it on the freeway. Can this thing actually hang, and can we pass through traffic and have enough power in this motorcycle to not feel like it's gonna explode while we're commuting down the road, which I always think is super important. And then of course, we're gonna take this thing to the track, and I'll let you guys know what I think on the track. It's pretty rad that we've got this switch now instead of the old school push button down here. It's kind of like the R1 now. Let's go have some fun.
I think starting off with ergos here and stability of the motorcycle, the bike feels really solid and planted. It's just something that I noticed up front. The little RC390, very minimal. It just seems like it's doing this, you know, where this thing is, it just feels super solid. It's tracking so well. And that slipper clutch, yeah, very nice. So up front ergonomics, it states that it has a little bit better ergonomics in between the seat and the tank. It's hard for me to say in between the last generation versus this generation, because my real experience with R3s is the previous generation to last generation. And ergonomics wise, way the hell better. I actually feel comfortable on this motorcycle. I feel a little more aggressive. I don't feel like I'm sitting on a dirt bike as bad as it used to feel, for sure. So the ergonomics, like, you are very comfortable. My feet are in front of my ass. I can straight up flat foot and have heavy bend in my knees. So when it comes to beginner, yes, this thing is screaming security, where you don't have to be worried about dumb stuff coming up to a stop sign and can I get my feet on the ground? Do I need to dance in between brake? Did I forget to downshift? Oh no, I gotta bounce between legs to downshift before the light turns green. All that BS you don't need to be worried about while you're riding a bike. You are not gonna have to worry about any of that crap. You're just gonna enjoy riding the motorcycle. So beginner status, screaming right in there as perfect. But so far, back road riding, comfort of the motorcycle, 100%. This thing is very comfortable. As for trying to get into an aggressive race position, yes, this feels way more aggressive than the 2 generation previous. And whatever they've done for the tank, I would say the way my ass hits the back seat and the way my knees are bent, where my feet are at, and where my arms are at, which would be the rider triangle, is not that bad. It's a little bit leaned forward. I'd say it's probably a little more aggressive than the Ninja 400. Not quite as aggressive as my RC390, but definitely more aggressive than most other lightweight sport bikes out there. That slipper clutch, definitely huge difference. To be able to downshift like that into a corner and not feel like if I was to lean the bike over, I wouldn't let that rear tire grab up. A lot of times, like my R7 would do that to me a lot. My R7 has a slipper clutch, but yet if I downshift too hard, too fast, it will lock up that rear tire, and that slipper clutch won't do anything. So depending on the corner, like on a track or on some back roads, if you're riding really hard, there'll be times where you need that second gear to keep the power coming out of that corner that you're about to go into. And if you full release drop that clutch in second gear for that downshift, you will lock up the rear. So you have to modulate your clutch ever so slightly in those instances, which, trust me, like, that's maybe a little more expert riding, I think, than what we need to have. So it'll be interesting if we can get to that point out on the track for the third piece of this review to see how that piece is gonna go. Not bad at all. So what I'm feeling with the motorcycle power versus gearing is that we're getting pretty much completely usable rev range is what I'm kind of understanding here. As the Ninja 400, it'll go to 130 miles an hour, but at that last 30 miles an hour, how is that usable for you? It takes so long to get there. It's not like you have power. It's like a waste of your power, is what I'm trying to say. So it feels like you basically have a little bit more mid-range in this motorcycle, and you're losing that top end. It's most likely gearing from the stock motorcycle, which is kind of cool, kind of like that. It's just to point out some differences between the 400 and maybe the R3. It does look like they're using gearing to give you the somewhat equivalent power, but yet you're losing that top end up to 130 miles an hour, which is like whatever. The upright position is not terrible. It's pretty damn comfortable, but like for me on those back roads, like I feel a little cramped. I feel like I am like sitting up tall trying to drag my knee versus being on the side of the motorcycle face down, you know, trying to get into that nice aggressive position that this bike doesn't really offer to us. Another major important thing that I noticed on this motorcycle, especially if you're looking at a Ninja 400, I mean, don't get me wrong, I already said I'm going to change the seat in some way, shape, or form, so that doesn't really matter. I did that to my Ninja 400. I put like a $200 aftermarket seat that raised it and made my junk stop rolling into the tank, which absolutely sucks with the Ninja 400, and I think that's how they get their lower seat height, basically. So on the R3, at least this one, my junk is not constantly rolling into the tank, and I think that is absolutely rad for the stock motorcycle. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps up some back roads, guys. Right now we need to get this thing on the freeway and see how the whole lane splitting slash power to pass cars is actually going to be like. So this is usually where cops hang out too. Right there. It looks like we good. Oh, that's not bad. That was a good pickup. She's not bad. What are we at? 80 miles an hour, 8,000 RPMs. So we're obviously pushing it a little bit farther than, like, say, common commuting to and from work. I mean, I don't know how you guys ride. This is why I don't like to commute long distance anymore, because this is exactly how I ride. And yeah, I would say it does it quite well. I mean, we're in 6th gear, 95 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, I'm only holding like quarter throttle right now, so it's not like I'm giving her everything she's got, maybe half throttle. But we'll get down to some like common speeds. Like sitting up here now on a full stance going 72 miles an hour. I can definitely feel the wind here on my chest. I would say this is not that much better than a Sport Naked if you're just sitting normal, like, and not in a full tuck position. Like a Sport Naked, it doesn't matter, you can't, you know, get into that position. But with this motor, oh yeah, there it goes, all the wind's gone. Just in this tuck position, I can feel it on the top of the helmet. This is not bad at all. And the way your legs and ass are, like, this is a comfortable position to me. Like spread out on my R7, sitting like this for a long period of time, it's not fun. The engine doesn't feel like it's high revving that bad. Like, it's fairly buzzy right now at 85 miles an hour. I can actually feel it in the handlebar slightly. But it's not terrible. I can feel the buzz in my ass too. So I would say at these speeds, she's a little buzzy. But 8,000 RPMs, yeah, she's a little buzzy. I would say, you know, not hour-long commutes on this bike. I think that would get old. I mean, position-wise, yes, you could do hour-long commutes on this thing because you can move around all over the place, and it's quite a comfortable motorcycle. But I think the buzzing will get to you after 45-50 minutes. But for shorter commutes, yeah, I think this is more than acceptable. Hell, look at, like, even speed-wise, the motorcycle handles it very well. And it is very, very windy today. I'm getting good side winds. I'm not feeling the motorcycle do any of the wobble, which is awesome. But I think I stated that at the beginning. Like, the first most notable thing I felt on the motorcycle when I rode it was how stable the bike feels. I don't know how Yamaha has achieved that on this little lightweight motorcycle, but I'll tell you what, man, it feels very, very stable, and I'm digging it. And I just realized I'm late for an appointment. So that's going to wrap up our Freeway review, and I'll see you guys out at the track. All right, we're out at the track, guys, with the brand new 2025 Yamaha R3. It is obviously quite cold out here. We are going to be a little bit nice to her, at least for the first lap or so, and then we'll try and have some fun. Oh, okay, that was the test I wanted. Slipper clutch works freaking great, even in a heavy downshift where I didn't need that downshift. Dude, that slipper is nice, guys. What a perfect little practice / learning bike to be out here on. This is way safer than getting your ass out here on like a frickin' S1000 RR or something crazy like that. Oh, got a drag knee for the picture there. Definitely a great training tool. Now, I think as I stated before, something worthy of doing, in my opinion, fixing some of these ergonomics if this is your plan for this motorcycle. I'll do that slipper, it's so nice. Great little training tool, guys, even for a kart track. But really, back to the ergonomics, I would say we need to fix these. I feel like I can't get my ass far enough back to get into a position I really want to be into, because my ass is just totally redlining that back seat right now. As I redline the shit out of the poor little bike. Oh, it's cold. You can feel the tires getting a little squirrely. Not gonna happen. A couple more laps if we have a chance at this, dude. I ain't go far enough. And that is the biggest issue with little bikes. Well, I hope this was a useful review. I don't know what you guys think, was pretty rad that we were able to do everything with this thing. It's super fun on some back roads. It's a great training tool in any aspect. And then we got to take it on the freeway, and at freeway speeds it handled it perfectly fine, in my opinion. It was pretty easy to split lanes and get through traffic, which I know you guys aren't, you know, we're lucky in California we get to do that, but in my opinion it handled it quite well. And then out here on the track, obviously a lot of fun. Doesn't matter what motorcycle you ride on the track, I promise you're gonna have a ton of fun. So that wraps up this review for the 2025 Yamaha R3. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.